Hello to all the Atlanta United fans. My name is Jurgen Damm, and you are watching Scarves and Spike, an Atlanta United podcast.
Welcome into Scarves and Spikes and our 2026 preseason preview.
Is it 2026 already?
It's getting there. Should be. It's extended preseason time, baby.
Did I sleep like?
Yeah.
Did I sleep like 4 months?
Not only did you miss the second half, you missed September, October, November, December, and here we are in January.
Are just
finally found the sim to end of season button.
Yeah. Or just fast forwarding throughout the rest of it, throughout the rest of the season, guys. Is that what we're doing here?
No one needs to see the final 7 games of the season. They were not meant for mortal eyes.
Not safe for human consumption.
No, this is our reaction podcast, our reaction show, which is like, I think this is the freshest reaction show we may have ever had, because normally it's Spaces and then the next day reaction show. But this is like the game ended basically 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago.
Right.
So
fresh content for you guys.
Oh
boy.
So you weren't able to make it. I know you were busy with other things that were infinitely more important and probably way more entertaining than the game that we just watched. But in the bits that you saw and that you were able to catch up with, what are your thoughts? I need a fresh perspective.
Fresh perspective. It was boring. Henry, what do you got? No. No. Look, I mean, it's 2 teams at the bottom of the table. You're not going to the playoffs, either one. You're already short Latte. Not that he's done anything over the past few weeks, right? Months, I should say. And you start Miguel Almiron at the top. Maybe that's a false 9. If Saba on one wing, Brennan on the other, and you dread it. Guys, what was it? How many shots did Atlanta end up with?
I mean, it was technically one on target.
6 shots, 1 on target. You know what that 1 on target was? It was Miguel Almiron's like weird, uncomfortable shot that ended up like shooting up into the air and then coming down, and the keeper like got to it.
That counted as a save?
I guess that counted as a shot on target.
Yeah. So. It's Tyler, you said before the match, like you wanted fans to have something to cheer about and something to be excited about, and you didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at the broadcast. I was able to catch the first half live and the second half on demand, and you look at the stands, looking at how few fans were in the stands, relatively speaking, and that pretty much tells you all you need to know about 2025 Atlanta United. I mean, we joked around about it at the top, but at this point, what is there to play for except pride? I mean, you started Hibbert. You started him, and
bright spot of the game.
He didn't have much to do as it was, but
got a clean sheet though. Let's go.
Got a clean sheet. Got a clean sheet. First in his career, but. You said a bright spot, Tyler. I don't know what other bright spots you have out of this match. I don't know if Henry, you have anything or any highlights from this one that you want to talk through with us.
Highlights.
It ended.
What? The biggest highlight was the final whistle. Like the least that Toronto could have done was like scored a goal or something, so that at least, we would have seen something hit the back of the net, but
we'd have felt some emotion.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just so unsatisfying. And the first few minutes of the game, you saw them kind of putting together some stuff. You kind of saw the vision of this weird new lineup that Ronnie Dyla rolls out, because you don't have Latte Lot. He's out with an injury. And you have two strikers on the bench, but one of them is Jamal Tiare, who couldn't start because he just wasn't fit. He was also coming back. He was coming back from injury.
Yeah.
And so the natural choice would became Togashi starting. However,
as Omar said in the chat,
no, we went with Miguel Almiron as the number 9 instead.
Yeah.
And I was curious how many times Miguel's played the actual like number 9. Apparently he's played it like 4 games at Newcastle. So
out of how many?
I don't know, man. I did not do that much research, but he never scored from that position, and that remains true today. Yeah, it looked. The early signs were good because it looked like they were, finding Miggy in spots, and he was kind of hoping to try to play forward and get this team to the box, and then everything just collapsed from there because I started, playing back. There was no there was no movement off the ball. Tristan Muyumba had another terrible game where pretty much every ball he received was a turnover. So I think at this point they've just identified him as a press trigger because he can't operate with pressure.
So why isn't Will Riley starting? Why isn't Will Riley starting at this
That's
point?
a great question.
You already know. You already know what you get from
fantastic question,
William
Sydney.
Baugh.
And
Why
look,
is it?
if I were the head coach of Atlanta United, that's probably what I would do when Alzate is not ready to start, which he's still kind of building up his fitness, him and Barakal. But I'm not. And so I have no control over that. But I will say that Alzate coming on really improved the team. I saw several positives. Yeah. I mean, I saw some positives from him. He came on and the team basically went from a single pivot with Slish to a double pivot with Alzate and Slish. And Alzate had some good moments. He helped connect a little bit. It just was an awful game, man, because Toronto had 11 shots. 11 shots. 2 of them were on goal, by the way. 2 saves from Hibbert. One of them, which was really good, there was a Toronto player that basically was 1v1 against Jaden, and Jaden, did the right thing. He got down. He
Cobiano.
Yeah, he cut down his angle and did everything right. And we were kind of debating in the press box a little bit about, is that a ball? Is that a shot that Brad Guzan saves? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to tell, but case in point is Jaden Hibbert was the one highlight of that game, and then everything else was a steaming pile of doo-doo. And hey, at least the unified team won.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, the second bright spot of the game of the day.
Staying unbeaten in the past, over a couple of years. So good to see that.
Yeah. It must be nice.
Right.
No, I'm super happy for the unified team. I wish we had been able to go back out and watch them, but they were getting pretty close to being over by the time we got out. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hit on a couple of things in the chat too while we keep talking. But so I think the biggest thing, like, you look at this game, like, my family was there.
Yep.
And
I'm sorry for them.
I know, right? I feel guilty whenever my family comes. I told my wife on this on the way home, and I was like, I feel guilty whenever y'all come to games, and like that's what you see. Thankfully, Stella, she's so young, she's excited to be there. She's having a good time. I love that.
She really care about results.
Yeah, Raiden was like, I got out of the bins, left, and I went over to go talk to Raiden, and he was like, they just didn't really look like they knew what they were doing. I was like, that sums it up, man.
How old is he again?
He's 13.
I forget. That's your
that's not my oldest.
Yeah, that's the second oldest.
But then
you're thinking the youngest.
Well, I mean, he would probably say the same thing.
Right.
But Matthias saying in the chat, like, that was one of the most snooze-inducing games I've ever watched. And I mean, yeah, like we were sitting in the press box saying the same thing. Like, I mean, it was just boring. And it's like one thing to have boring soccer. Yeah, Stella deserves better. You're absolutely right.
So let me hit on the second part of that.
It's one thing to have boring soccer, but like, look, like Frank de Boer was boring soccer, but you were at least getting some wins, man.
But
it's not.
Sorry, I was going to hit on the second part of that chat message, though. says the players don't seem to care that Dylas' tenure is on the line, and kind of juxtaposed against what Henderson and Henry, you were there on Friday. What Henderson was saying, that he's looking for improvement, he's looking for positive momentum further down the remainder of the season. I'm paraphrasing here, but kind of put up against those comments, you would think the team would come out and at least show they have a pulse, and you didn't see that again. And one thing that got me, I was reading back at the post-match quote sheet that they send the media after every match. Dylas said the team looked sluggish, tired, and slow in everything we did. End quote. Alzate said, I got to pull it up here. The team looked tired. The team lacked a little desire. Pretty much his quote, his exact quote.
Yeah.
Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I feel like I could go on for a long time about that, but why? I mean, we've talked about it's what 27 matches 27 matches into the season, guys. We're still talking about there's no desire, or there's a lack of desire. Team is tired. The team is, just flat. I just don't get it. And it's just you again. I know we kind of joked around about it, but at this point, why play the final 7 matches of the season if this is where you're going to get outside of seeing what the young kids can do, right?
I think that's the point.
It's very frustrating. It's just mind-boggling. We're still having these conversations.
I think just like Tyler's intro, though, like the rest of this season is preseason for 2026 at this point. Yeah. And I mean, I'm saying that in sort of a literal sense because, I mean, Atlanta is just they could be eliminated from the playoffs next week. There is a scenario where they could be eliminated from the playoffs. I guess they were a little bit spared by Charlotte beating Red Bulls tonight, but still.
Thank you, Charlotte.
I mean, honestly, I would have preferred Red Bulls win just so that it would have been more straightforward. But either way, if Red Bulls wins next weekend, and I'm going to see who they play. But if Red Bulls wins next weekend and Atlanta loses to Nashville, then Atlanta will mathematically be eliminated from the playoffs because they will have a 19-point gap, I believe it is, and the max that they could get is 18 points. So Red Bulls is playing Columbus, so maybe I really don't think that Red Bulls are going to beat Columbus, but maybe. That'd be really nice. I mean, I just want this to be over, I just want that cloud to just be over and for the players to just not have, I guess, pressure on them anymore, because I think right now it's like, there's still a chance, right? But I think the players don't really believe it. Like they're not going to come out and say service. I don't think they're going to come out and say like, we're out of the playoffs, right? We know there's no playoffs, but I think that's kind of the mood at this point. I think they're kind of going through the motions of kind of teams that are at the bottom of the table that, they know they have no chance. They know their season's over and they're just kind of playing out the rest of the calendar. So that to me is what's happening right now with this team. And I think the sooner that Atlanta is fully out of the playoff picture, we know that they're out, but as long as when they're mathematically out, I think we're going to see potentially more of the risks in terms of the lineup and potentially more of these younger players. I think by the time that you are out of the playoffs, Latte Latte and Miggy, I think you give them rests. I think you just don't play them.
I wouldn't disagree.
We've already seen kind of what they can give you. It's not much. They've been playing nonstop for like about a year. Just give them a rest finally and play Cayman Togashi, please. Play Nick Sesek. Play some of the your Will Rileys and your Matt Edwards when he gets healthy. Play some of these guys and let them show what they've got for next season, because you have several contracts that are running out at the end of the season. You have a lot of space to kind of turn over the roster. And I think you need to know what positions you're going to have vacancies in and what positions you're going to have this potential depth in. But you need to test the depth to know that at the MLS level that they're going to be able to do it. And so just give him the chance. And if after this Nashville game, nothing else matters, then do it, man.
Nashville, by the way, who beat Orlando 5-1. So
great. That's encouraging.
Awesome. So I gotta say, so Matthias, we're not under any inkling
illusion
that this team is going to make the playoffs. But like Henry was saying, yeah, I mean, I think you just have to see what you have for next year at this point. It doesn't matter. Like who really wants to be here? Like Gray said it in the chat too. I mean, a lot of folks are saying Omar, like you gotta trot out some different folks. And I will applaud Dyla for sure. Like I think today, barring the Miggy as the false 9 decision, which I never want to see again personally, I like the lineup actually. One thing I would like to see different, I don't know, especially at this point, that you need to have Miguel Almiron and Alexei Miranchuk on the field at the same time for the rest of the season. I just don't think it's necessary. I mean, Miguel Almiron is tired. He is fatigued. He's been playing a lot. Latte Lath, same thing.
Yeah.
He's going to be out for I don't know. I say foreseeable future. Whatever.
Don't rush him back.
Hopefully he doesn't play another game this season. Hopefully
he doesn't need to play another game this season.
Yeah,
no reason.
Hopefully,
no reason.
Let him recover from whatever this injury is. You definitely don't want to risk him. There's no need to risk him getting a worse injury. And you have Togashi, you have Leo Fonzo can play striker, you have Jamal Tiare who's coming back, you have Rodrigo Neri with the 2s. You've got options. You don't need to play Latte Latte.
And that's the thing. I want to see Togashi. Like I wanted to ask Dyla this, and there was something else I asked him later on, which was really good. But the thing I went into the press conference today that I wanted to ask that Doug was able to ask during his first set of questions was you have 2 out-and-out strikers on the bench in Jamal Tiare and Cayman Togashi. And yet Miguel Almiron gets started as essentially a false 9. And that's what Dyla described him as. Why? And Jamal Tiare, I can understand because he's coming back from injury. He's only been back for 3 days, I think, training with the team is what Dyla said. And we know how he is. I mean, he just Omar said it. He's
spark
glass. But he's a spark, but he's made of glass. But you know what you get out of him in the 60th minute, and I'm down for that. Which leaves in my opinion, the only logical choice was to play Cayman Togashi.
Yeah.
Jordan saying it in the chat. He plays with such an infectious passion and makes the most of his chances. Give him a shot. 100%. I want to see more of Cayman Togashi. I think that man is being wasted right now. I mean, he's doing great for the 2s. He had a banger in Leagues Cup, which didn't matter. But like he's out there and he wants to be out there. He almost got on the end of a good header near the end of the match tonight. They could have changed the game entirely. We'd be having a totally different conversation right now. But he is one of a handful that are essentially on the end of their contract or an option year. So those are, and this was as of the beginning of the season, but let's see. Edwin Mosquera is gone. Luis Abram gone. Brooks Lennon, he is at the end of his contract.
Probably gone.
Option year for next year, probably gone. Sean De Silva's gone. Jamal Tiare, end of contract, has an option year. Josh Cohen, end of contract, has an option year. Brad Guzan, end of contract. Ronald Hernandez, end of contract, has an option year. Click, gone. Derek Williams, gone. Then you have Matt Edwards, Jay Fortune, both have options. Jaden Hibbert has a lot of options, but this is his last guaranteed year. Ephraim Morales gone. Will Riley, this year with a lot of options. Cayman Togashi with an option for next year. That's a lot of players that you have to make decisions on, and a lot of them are young.
Yeah.
So you need to see what you're going to get out of them for the rest of the year. They should be the ones getting the majority of the minutes.
So add to that Nick Sesek.
Sesek is another one, yeah. Through end of season. So, I mean, what do you do with him when the year's up? But here's the thing, though. And I want to throw this out there, too. You have possibly super draft placing as well. So I think right now you're second in the super draft. So I don't know, maybe that plays into it as well. But at the
Why?
same time,
I feel
To
like Gray-
trade the pick to DC for an
Yeah.
underperforming DP?
yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, but I mean, at least there's something to play for, I guess. And I'm not a fan of tanking. I'm not a fan of, laying down to get a good draft pick. And I don't know who's draft eligible. I'm just throwing it out there. Gray Gowder would have plenty of information on that, but that's maybe another wrinkle to the season. But why play your starters? Why play your preferred 11? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, you're not going to the playoffs. I mean, what have you proven to yourselves? Nothing. Like, you haven't proven anything, and you're just no better than you were at the beginning of the season. We should have seen this coming, guys, when we were looking at this team struggling in the preseason. Like, the signs were there. You kind of brushed it off like it's only preseason, but here we are, August 24th, 2025, and Lady United is going to miss the playoffs. Not officially, but I mean, pretty much done deal.
At least
much
it was
a done deal.
progression in the preseason, though.
Yeah,
That's the thing. We had something to hang on to.
Mostly by the younger guys, by the way. I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
there's Gray. I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
in
but
good stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, we thought from the younger players. I'm kind of half kidding, but no. Why are the younger players the only ones who look like they care at this point? I mean, that's very troubling, guys.
Because they've got something to prove
again. Well, yeah,
because they are trying to make a name for themselves and they're trying to build their careers, and so this actually matters for them. Unlike some of these, late 20s, early 30-year-olds who have played most of their careers and who, have pretty much, they've established themselves. They're on the tail end of their careers. I mean, after this, they probably go to some other random club back in their home countries or whatever, or, retire. I mean, there's nothing much for them. They have nothing like this. There's nothing hanging here, right? There's nothing like over their heads, basically. There's no true motivation, I would say. And this is just speculation for me, but it's from my observation is when you are the younger one and the up and comer, you have a lot more motivation to go out and to perform well, especially because you have to earn your spot. You're not the DPs.
Right.
The DPs get paid the big money and they're brought in to be automatic starters. And so when you are the Luke Brennans, the Will Rileys, these guys, you have to go an extra mile to show that you were able to break into that 11. And so that's kind of to answer your question. And when I talked to Javier Perez about the academy, and we had a nice 30-minute chat about that side of the club, which I think all y'all patrons, you could check out the audio. I wrote a story about it. It's on the website. But he says, in the player profiles, the number one thing they look for is character, right? It's the character to work hard. It's the character to, really, really want to grow, right? As a player. And so that's what they look for. And so that's why a lot of these kids that are coming out of the academy, that's what they are, right? That's the qualities that you're starting to see in your Dominic Chanquis, in your Cooper Sanchez, who both of which earned homegrown deals earlier than they were supposed to. Both of these guys, I think, were supposed to become homegrown players next year, the start of 2026, and they've got it now. And that shows their hunger, which is another word that Ronnie Diley uses, right? Hunger in these guys, in these kids. Passion. Yeah. That's good. And that's why, honestly, I think it sucks when you sell them and then you replace them with a guy who's a little bit older,
not as passionate.
Maybe he doesn't bring the same level of passion, right? Yeah. Maybe they're marginally better, but I don't know. I feel like potential with passion can give you a lot more in the long run than, veteran kind of whateverness. I don't want to say some of these veteran players don't really feel it. I feel like, there are some players that definitely love this club and some of these prime age players that do give, a lot of effort, but I'm just saying it's different when you were growing up in this in this club's academy, and you have had that in your mind, right? Your entire academy career, like I want to play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium and I
Yeah.
want to represent this club. I think it's just an entirely different mindset.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating. Like you're talking about Henry, the player identification in the academy. Where's that identification in the scouting department, the first team scouting department? Is my question. Like, where is
Well,
it?
they're gonna have a new scout because Jamie Henderson left.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys know where you guys see what I'm saying though. Like, why we're still having these discussions that we've been having for years with this team. So
Yeah, and
it's disappointing.
I wonder, based on things that I've heard, if Atlanta United is as active in the winter as they, I think, probably want to be, to kind of match what they did this summer.
Right.
I can guarantee you that's going to be one of the points of emphasis, is finding the players that want to freaking be here.
Yeah.
And they have to focus on it, but at the same time, like, if nothing else changes, like if coaching staff doesn't change, and I don't think it will, if it doesn't, that is a very tight, thin line. It has to work at that point.
Yeah.
It has to. And it's the passion is one thing. Obviously, you got to get the right guys, the talent, everything else. But like the kids, the ones that are trying to get those minutes now, Dial mentioned them to me in the press conference today. You know, he talked about Luke and some of the things that he's working with Luke on.
Yeah.
And, you know, he talked about some of the new guys that are coming in and talked about getting them up to fitness. And I think Omar asked earlier in the chat, but like, you know, he was asking kind of like why are some of these players not quite, you know, able to play as many minutes yet. And I mean, I think a lot of it is like Mihai. He had a month of training by himself to get ready.
Mhm.
The rest of them coming off of maybe part of a preseason for their club, but they're just, they've got to get built up to it. And I think at this point, like, they need to play, but you also can't rush them either. Like, because what you don't want to have happen is the same situation you've had with a handful of these players where they're coming off of one season, going into the next one and getting thrown in, and they don't really have time to really adjust at their own pace.
Right.
But I don't know if they can go and make the right moves, man. That's why I was like, I joked around about this being like the off season, but I think the club is kind of looking at it as really, you've got to start seeing what you have for next year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You know where you can find our Atlanta United coverage, though, by the way, guys. Just to kind of pivot off that briefly. ScarsandSpikes.com, match previews, recaps, Tyler's first reaction, player ratings, all that good stuff. We allow you to rate the players after their performance, and then I give my player ratings based on their performance. So that's at ScarsandSpikes.com. Also, there's a link to our store as well. You can buy hats, hoodies, shirts, glasses, mugs, the whole 9 yards. Help support Atlanta United coverage by clicking on that link to the store on ScarsandSpikes.com. Henry mentioned Patreon, his interview with Javier Perez from the Academy. Patreon.com/ScarsandSpikes. 3 levels of content, 3 tiers. All 3 get you access to our Discord. Something new we've been trying the past few weeks is a watch along channel within the Discord that Tommy hosts every week. It has been hosting for the past few weeks. So there's an opportunity to join that as well. Opportunity to chat with us when the show's not going on, either of us. So patreon.com/ScarsandSpikes. Go there. Help support, again, Atlanta United coverage. Also, we're on YouTube, as you all know. We're live every Saturday night, or Sunday night, I should say, 9 p.m. Eastern. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern with MLS Monday. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Before, after every Atlanta United match. Of course, throughout various times throughout the week, especially with Henry's Across the Pitch feature. YouTube.com/ScarsandSpikes. Like, subscribe, share our content, let people know that we are here, what we are doing. That really does help us out a lot. And of course, follow us on social media, Scars, the letter, and Spikes on X, ScarsandSpikes.com, Scars and Spikes on Instagram and Threads as well, and facebook.com/ScarfsandSpikes. So Hibbert, not too much to do, guys. Just the 2 saves. Does he play the rest of the season? Yes or no?
Yes,
Most of it.
except for one game, and it's decision day. DC United, last game of the season, and I think that is Brad Guzan's farewell game.
Yeah, I mean that's the testimonial metric Guzan, right? Just make it that. Make it that. I mean, I agree with you, Henry. Like Henderson said it on Friday, and as Tommy gets ready to come in here in a little bit, Henderson said on Friday the team's looking for a number 1. It's not Brad Guzan. There's 0 chance it's Brad Guzan. He's past his, I won't say usefulness, but he's past what he can do for this team, past its effectiveness for this team. So I agree, Henry. Maybe Hibbert over these next 6 matches. I mean, you have nothing to play for. And then Guzan, like you said, a decision day, get him 90 minutes, get him one less chance in front of the Atlanta United crowd, and have him say goodbye. He's a legend. He's a club legend. He deserves nothing less than a chance to say goodbye to the fans. So I feel like that's good. That's what's going to happen. Yeah,
for sure. I agree. And like Jaden Hibbert, we talked to him a little bit in the locker room, and if you haven't done it yet, go read the article I did on Jaden last year, which is when he was really kind of coming into his own with the 2s.
Mm-hmm.
You asked this guy, and he got asked today, what is it you need to work on? What is it you're trying to work on? And he will tell you exactly what it is he wants to do and get better at. He has a vision. He's constantly working on bettering himself. And I love that work ethic. I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to give him an edge to really get that number 1 spot, or at least a true shot at it. I mean, and Dyla kind of mentioned it during the time that Josh Cohen was hurt. Jaden Hibbert really stepped up and showed why he needed a shot, and he's taken full advantage of it. So I love to see it. I really do think Jaden Hibbert could be the long-term goalkeeper for this club.
So
for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah. Tyler, I have his full answer here, actually, the transcript of his answer. And I kind of want to read it just so you all see kind of the detail with which he answered the question. Because a lot of players, especially some of the younger ones, they do media. They don't give like very, very elaborate answers. They're mostly kind of straightforward to the point, short. You expect that out of younger players. Hi, Tommy. But I asked Jaden what he feels he still needs to work on to get more consistent starts. And here's what he said. The feet, we want to play at times. We want to be able to stretch them. We have speed with Latte Lot, with Jamal, with Miguel, Saba, we want to be able to play the long balls, but also they have to respect, the passing game that he can play. I can play through the middle, little ones to the fullback, center backs, and decision making. These games are perfect for me, goalkeeper, something that comes with experience. This is phenomenal for me to learn every single game through the mistakes and through the positives too.
Yeah. I'll throw this out there too as Tommy comes in. He mentioned later, I'm just looking at the sheet here, and Tyler, you and Henry were there, but he mentioned Josh Cohen, Champions League. He mentioned Brad Guzan being in the Premier League, Elliot Parrish being in the Premier League. I'll throw out there too, Andre Blake, fellow Jamaican international, former UConn Husky. So there's that strong connection between him and Andre Blake, one of the top goalkeepers in CONCACAF history, learning from him. So he's showing that willingness to learn. He's showing that willingness to, get better at his craft. He has a good support system around him. He kind of talked about that, but certainly Blake is another keeper that I'll throw out there as someone else who I'm sure he's learned from. Tommy is here.
Hello.
Sorry, guys. The game. I fell asleep watching the game, and I just woke up.
Yeah.
You and a ton of people, I'm sure, Tommy.
Good Lord. I wanted someone, I think I tweeted, just let someone score. I need to feel something in life. I don't care who it is. Just somebody score.
Yeah.
This is, you got partially what you wanted. but I don't know if you guys brought this up yet, but did anyone ask like why Hibbert started instead of Brad?
I think someone did, right?
I
Henry
don't know
Tyler.
that it was asked
Did
specifically
Brad,
why.
or sorry, not Brad. Did Doug ask?
I don't know that it was asked why. I mean, he did say kind of what I said before, like coming off of what Chris Henderson said Friday, that the club's looking for, a number one,
Yeah.
and how good Jaden Hibbert has been in training. He, essentially he kind of caught Ronnie Dowell's eye even more when Cohen was out. I don't know. I mean, I think this is just maybe that kind of front office's way of saying we've got to really figure out, are we going to really, really stick with Jaden? Is he going to definitely be in the picture? Do we need to try to keep Cohen for another year? I think the answer is no at this point.
No.
Because even if Jaden Hibbert's not your number one and you go out and you buy a number one, Jaden Hibbert has to be there as the next in line. But I want to see him number one personally. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. So if you're on the side of, there's a couple ways to look at this game. I mean, one, the absolute way is boring, absolutely boring. Two is that you got to see a couple people play that were a little bit unexpected, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Brennan, which you really weren't sure what they've been doing. I mean, they're still throwing Saba and Almiron out on the wings on a regular basis. So having Luke Brennan start, okay. That's good news. I think some people would have rather preferred to see Riley instead of Miumba, but okay, you can't get everything that you wanted.
A lot of people.
Someone Michael put here. Brad
Yes,
had back
yeah.
spasms yesterday, so same thing. I had back spasms this morning, Brad. I feel you, man. But I just sat out of bed. That was what happened to me. The other thing, the only other way I could take it is exactly how I've explained this transfer window is it's not sexy. It's trying to figure out your defensive deficiencies and try to make them better. Now, you could say that part of it was because of the game or the opponent that you played that is real crappy at scoring goals just like you. But you can only play the games that you have on your schedule. And you played this game today. You didn't allow a lot of big scoring chances. There were a couple that were a little iffy, but still you look good. There was a moment Brooks Lennon definitely was not marking his guy correctly. That thing scared the shit out of all of us. That could have been the one nothing. Because think about it. It's usually when it's that one mistake that you make. And Atlanta United's made a lot of them. But there's been other games in the past where it's like you played a good game, but that one mistake came to bite you. That Brett Brooks Lennon one on any other day of the week would probably be the one that would just cost us a 1-0 loss there. But overall, like it looked good, right? And you got your center backs pairing, and it's going to continue to play. You hope that they continue to stay healthy, continue to gain full-on marriage type relationship there, so that they know where they're going to be at all times. Because that's what teams that do well in this league have. They have the same starting center backs play on a regular basis. They gain that chemistry, and you're usually, and as long as your midfield's not total garbage, you're usually not at the bottom half of allowing goals. So I look at that part as at least as a win, that you didn't allow a lot of chances and you didn't make a lot of mistakes saying, what the hell are you doing? But other than that,
Yeah.
the offense is just sad. It's really, I thought, I mean, again, Sydney, you were right. You were like, oh, it's going to be a boring game. And you're right. I mean, again, because it's either it's not going to be like a 1-1 game. It's either going to be 0-0 or it's going to be 6-3 or something like that. And we unfortunately got the shitty option.
Yeah. I want to hit on something you said about Hibbert. Against an opponent like Toronto, I feel like it's a very low risk proposition for him to start this match, right? Versus Nashville next week, like very little risk of maybe getting beaten like 2-0 or 3-0, Tommy, like you were saying, by getting so many goals put past you. That is crazy, but you want Hibbert to get confidence. You want him to be get experience and be a confident keeper if he is the number one guy next season. This is a good time to do it. In a low risk game, you know that win or lose, it doesn't really do much to help your case in the playoff chase. So that's what I'm taking from it. And you kind of hit on it, Tommy, but yeah, that's how I see it. I feel like that's how Dylan saw it too. Why not play him against TFC, who are just as bad as you are? So,
well, but if the
You
back
disagree?
spasm, thing's the thing, then if the back spasm thing isn't a thing next week, then they're probably starting Brad Guzan.
Back spasms are no joke, by the way. I've had them.
Well, bro,
I haven't heard about any back spasms.
I didn't hear about these back spasms either,
Me neither.
but either way,
Yeah.
like whatever it is, like guys, you're like someone said in space today, you're like almost in preseason now, where you're just trying to figure things out.
You missed my whole bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
If we had a nickel for every time we've said that this show, we'd have enough to
Literally
buy
started off the
season
show and I was
tickets.
like, welcome to our preseason preview episode.
well, I mean, someone said
A lot
that
of
on
season
Spaces
tickets are
too.
available now. I'll tell you that much. The rate
Like,
things are going.
You need to see what you have here, and I'm saving my Chris Henderson rant for Wednesday because I watched that video and there were just some things I didn't like how they were said there. But man, like nobody cares about winning a game anymore, except the DC one at the end of the season. The last game of the season, DC, Brad Guzan in net. You want to have yourself a 1-0 shutout. That's what you want. You want that clean sheet for Brad, 1-0. So it was important to him. Don't make that face, Henry. This is what the people want. you
This is what we want, but when have we ever gotten
That's
what we
the only
want this
thing.
season?
That's
Let's
the
be
only
real.
thing that now that's on my schedule that like I'm excited about. It's college football starting, NFL starting, Brad Guzan clean sheet on October, whatever. Those are the only things that really matter to me
Mark your
at this
calendars.
point in sports because that's the grand moment that you have. But Brad Guzan is on this roster next season. And Chris, I heard what you said. I heard what you said. I got my own fan fiction. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. Of
a
the only
teaser.
the only way I want him on
Writing
it.
fan fiction now?
I mean that's usually this guy's thing up here, but I've wrote some fan fiction.
He raises
Yeah.
his hand.
I've wrote some fan fiction.
I
on this.
want. So I want to hit real quick on a point that Gray put in the chat. He said, if you're going to move forward with a young starting goalkeeper, you want a solid veteran backline and defensive midfielder in front of him. And that's what
Good
they
point.
tried to do this window.
Yeah.
That's a good point, really. I mean, they did say they were going to reinforce the spine. And to be fair, those are positions that you needed to reinforce anyways. But I think it does help to have some of these older players in front of him, some of that experience, try to give him not as much to do. Because you don't want to like completely blast his confidence by like having him face 20
Yeah.
shots in a game. And I think, that one game, what was it, Leagues Cup, where he had to face 9 shots. I think it was very evident that it was a game that didn't really matter. It was a very rotated team that even if he had conceded like 3 goals in that game, it wouldn't have had a bad effect on his confidence, I don't think, because it was essentially a friendly.
Yeah.
Right. But, him having these games with Atlanta, I mean, he's undefeated in goal, right? It's 2 draws and a win. Yeah, I know the look, Sydney. I
No, you're
get it.
right. You're not
But
wrong. You're not wrong.
It's small sample size. It's whatever, but it's good for him. It's good to build him up. And I think, they're not going to come out and say right now, like, oh, yes, Jaden Hibbert will be our starting goalkeeper in 2026. Because they still want him to push, right? And they don't want to like commit to anything. And more than anything, they just want Jaden to continue pushing and to continue getting better. And clearly that is his intention from what we are getting talking to him. And it's great to see that. And his
But that's not what they said. That's not what Chris Henderson said, damn it. He was just like, we told Brad that we're going out and looking for a number 1. That is not how you say that.
Exactly.
No, that is not how you say that. You say we have a very young Jaden Hibbert. Like he brought his name up later because I think someone else brought his name up
non-committal,
later.
dude.
But that's not how you
They're
that's
not going to commit
how
to
you
it.
bring it up. You don't say we tell Brad we're looking for a new number 1 next season. You say we have potential. We have a young Jaden Hibbert here waiting in the wings that is ready to earn the spot here. Like I understand. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because I does anyone else play EFC and when like they give you the 3 answers to answer in a post game, you really think hard about what you want to say. I think way too hard, but like I want to say things that make the fans feel good about next season. And that could be one of those little things. We talk about how there's like not a lot to be excited for next season because there's probably not a lot of changes if the coach isn't changing and the DPs aren't changing. That's one thing I would say. We have young Jaden Hibbert here who's played a couple games recently for us. Has been fantastic. He has an opportunity to start next year.
Well, yeah, but if you mention him in that context, and it kind of sounds like you're guaranteeing him the spot because you're kind of talking about, oh, we're looking for a new number 1, and you bring up this guy. I mean, it's fair. I totally think that he should be the number 1 with what he's showing. But let's say, knock on wood, that he plays the rest of these games this season, and he's conceding 3 or 4 goals a game, and it's just not good enough. Yeah. Keep in mind, you have Josh Cohen on the roster too. I'm not saying
where's he at? Is he in the closet somewhere?
That's the twos, I think.
Okay.
That goes back to an old.
I understand. I'm not advocating. I'm not advocating for Josh Cohen to be the starter, but I'm saying, you have to leave the door open because you don't know if it's going to be Jaden.
Yeah,
it might be the plan right now, but you can't commit to it. I don't think right now.
And just quickly, I mean, it may just be semantics. Like he's saying, we're looking for a number 1 goalkeeper. Could be that the number 1 goalkeeper is already on your roster right now. So maybe it's just a little bit of semantics that we're getting a little bit caught up on. But I certainly wouldn't count Jaden Hibbert out. I mean, he's small sample size, yes, but he's done well. But I mean, I wouldn't, to your point, Henry, if things implode over the next 6 or 7 matches, how many matches he starts down the stretch, then, you're kind of in a little bit of trouble. Maybe that conversation about Jaden Hibbert being your number 1 goalkeeper, maybe it quiets down just a little bit. So you want to give yourself that wiggle room.
I mean, I like what Gray said too, though. Like when I talked to Dyla at the end, and it turned into a little bit longer of a conversation than I think it was meant to be. But like one of the things he said to me was that Stian and Mihai looked really good, and they have looked very good. I think, yeah, if you're going to stick with Jaden, and really, it's not even just Jaden. If you were to bring in somebody new, because Cohen, he's at the end of his contract after this year. Like, I don't see him being re-signed. So if you go and you find somebody new, they have to get integrated into the team. They're going to need that veteran presence back there. I hope they have that veteran presence. If it's Jaden, he's going to need that veteran presence, like Gray was saying. So either way, you need to have your center back core and your, like Gray said, the defensive mid position locked down. And I think Slish is going to help with that too, because he's kind of right there in the mix. Your wing back, your fullback situation has to get figured out, at least in the long term. But if you can get that set, there's your foundation to build off of. And then going back to like what everybody else is saying in the chat, like Brian and Milan, like you've got to start figuring out how to score. You have to have better, patterns of play in the attack. You've got to have a little bit more free flowing soccer. You've got to stop waiting until you're 5 feet from the goal to take a shot. Like there's a lot of things that you've got to fix. But if you can have that foundation in the back with veteran guys who, again, Stian staying healthy, Mihai continuing kind of on the right track next year. I mean, that's at least something to hold on to.
Let's see, this. You look back at the number these last few matches. How many goals do you think that Gregerson or Mihai have been directly responsible for? And I would venture to say very few. When you look at the 2 against Colorado, Beracao causes a penalty or concedes a penalty. And then the second one, the second one scored by Navarro in that match. You think it was a penalty, or you think it was a handball in the box, everyone just stops playing. So it's pretty much the entire back line you blame on that, but kind of a weird play anyway. But if you look at them, even against Toronto, how many clear-cut opportunities did the 2 of them give up? I would say very few, and that shows maybe it's not a sexy stat because it's not nothing to do with the attack, but it shows that, hey, as these guys continue to grow and coalesce together and get used to each other in that pairing, you have a pretty good, solid foundation in that back line for 2026. I mean, you saw Derek Williams. I mean, his drop in form was catastrophic. Beto Calabrese is still out, but not been impressed with what he's brought to the table thus far. Mihai and Gregerson, if those two can continue to grow and develop, this could be a strong defensive back line next season. Now, of course, what do you do with Lennon? I feel like the conversation is around him not being here next season. I always agree with that. Get yourself a solid player to replace him, more defensive minded. You have Amador, does well in the defense, has really struggled attacking wise this season. So you're set. And of course, you need to get goals. Maybe, and we mentioned it toward the beginning, maybe some rest for Almiron, maybe some rest for Latte Lot gives us the opportunity to kind of recharge and become the players that we hope they can become. So maybe that's something you take it to 26. I don't know, but obviously the offseason is going to be very key for this team. And, we certainly don't want to see another or many more of these 0-0 draws like we saw today against Toronto. So guess that's where we are right now.
A 0-0 draw in most seasons, it's a clean sheet. That's cool. But when it's the norm and you haven't won a game since May 28th, I think, an MLS game, it's not going to, it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't give the fans anything to be really happy about. I mean, yeah, you can take the little things. You can take Jaden Hibbert getting a clean sheet. Awesome. You can take, the change in lineup and some of the young guys playing. Luke Brennan still getting out there and getting after it, which I think is great to see. You mentioned Better Call. I think I would much rather see him take a while to start up and then come in 2026 hot, like ready to go, than see what we've seen in the past, which is, oh my God, this is the next, amazing Atlanta United legend. And then all of a sudden they're non-existent come next year.
Yeah.
I just want to see this team come out in 2026 and erase every narrative that 2025 has given them.
Yeah. I think that counts for all of us.
Can I ask you a question about Latte Loth?
Yes.
Would you be okay if he just doesn't play the rest of the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we already talked. We did mention that early in the season. I mean, why play him at this point? There's nothing to prove.
He and
really.
Miggy both need rest.
Yeah.
We've played nonstop for like a year.
Absolutely. Like I know that I know that the club does not have, I guess, unless it's something serious, I just don't think that they have the confidence to be able to do that and not, think that they're freaking the fans out, because the narrative is already there for both these players as being busts, and then you don't see them play for, the last 2 months of the season. But when you're done, you're done. If it's a nagging injury, you should not be looking at this season. You should be looking at next season. And I like Miguel Almiron. Look, if he wants to play and you want to give him some time and give Saba some extra time to play, because Saba right now, in my opinion, is playing for his next contract with another team. I don't think he's going to be here next year. He has to go. Like we were talking about it in the watch along. I think with Brian, he was actually talking about like Saba and how he loves Saba. I love Saba. You guys know that. I've been talking about it, but like your allocation that you have in each position can only be so much, and you can't have Miguel Almiron and Saba taken up on the right there, and Saba doesn't work on the left. So you need to sell Saba to get that money to go make yourself better on the other side of the field. That's really what you need to be doing with him. I mean, I understand going to an empty Mercedes-Benz, and it looked pretty empty to me, at least when I was looking at it on TV. Like you're already in that zone anyways. So get your guys healthy. Get them healthy. I know it doesn't probably help your Ronnie Dyla got one extra win before the end of the season. That's why we need to keep him narrative.
Right.
But it's not that one extra win isn't going to do anything for it. These guys need to get rest. They need to get healthy, because next season, everyone is going to be looked at. That includes your front office people. That includes your manager if he doesn't leave. It's going to include everyone in there. So you really need to prepare yourself. Because like I see in these comments in here, like, and someone asked that in Spaces, is like, what is an acceptable thing next year? Because I do not want to hear a top 4. I don't want to hear top 4. If I hear top 4, I'm going to lose my mind, and you're going to hear a rant next season. But it's going to be said by Garth, or it's going to be said by Chris. It's going to happen. Well, obviously, we're trying for a top 4 playoff spot because you get 2 games at home. We know the math. We know how the playoff format works. All we want to do is make the playoffs and have entertaining soccer. I don't care if we're the 7th seed and we go in and we cause some shit against Columbus or Cincinnati or whoever it is. If long as I go sit down for 90 minutes and we lose 3-2 or even a 2-1 back and forth where there's a ton of shots, that's all I want. Okay, we get some wins and we're in the playoffs. Fantastic. Don't give me any position. Oh, we don't have a top 4. Do not do it. Chris, don't do it. I know you're watching right now.
Is he though? Hopefully.
We're on one TV. He's got some scouting on the other TV. He's got the Golden Girls on the other TV. Like he's watching all this stuff. Golden Girls, don't laugh at that. Golden Girls is legit. And that is like, don't do it, Chris. I don't want to hear anything about this is what we're aiming for. You should just aim for putting on a product that isn't total shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're watching right now. I just saw Rob Uster's tweet about that was the biggest waste of 90 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
Don't disagree. We saw in DC, right? Kevin from Charlotte showed up into our watch long. I said, Kevin, did you have he was at the DC 0-0 game there a couple of months ago. He's fallen asleep twice staring at that. Think if he went to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, he could have been one of the only guys that went to his 2-0-0 games.
I don't disagree with you at all. I want
wins.
I want happiness,
joy.
I don't want to see this team playing to the level of their competition. I don't want to see so many draws, and especially so many 0-0 draws, where you can't figure out how to score one goal with the most expensive attack in the league to get 3 points.
Right.
I would be perfectly content if you sent Miguel Almiron, Latte Lath, and Alexei Miranchuk on an early vacation. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I am
like
saying
football manager.
Dude, just don't come back until January of next year.
Yeah.
Go be with your family. Now, the one caveat is this.
What's that?
Don't pay attention to this freaking team until January when we call you back to the training ground. And when you do come back and bring hell with you. Like, let's go. Be ready to go. Don't come in here with this like,
don't watch any more matches.
I got to build up. I got to do this. I got to do that. No, you come in on the very first game. I want you to go punch whatever team you're playing in the mouth and win and make it look like, oh my God, they figured it out. I don't want to see this like, oh my God, we're playing Columbus, so we're going to somehow play like prime Real Madrid, and then we're playing Montreal, and we're playing like the Griffin Tech U12s. I don't want to see it anymore. It's garbage. It's frustrating. So yeah, I totally agree. Send them on vacation. I don't care. Special treatment. I don't give a crap, dude. They're the DPs. They get special treatment anyway. Send them and say, don't freaking come back till January. And when you do, be ready to go.
Yeah.
Cancel your MLS season pass subscription.
Turn it off for the
even
year.
Tune into the game. Just go enjoy, be with your families, and focus on anything but this team and what the season has been. Come back with 2026 with a clear mind. Just erase, get the Men in Black pen thingy, and just erase the entire past year.
Forget everything you know about 2025, and just come back ready to go.
Yeah, we're just not happening. 100%.
I agree, Tommy. I feel like that's all of us this year, this season, watching this team.
Sucks, man.
It's almost over.
It's not though.
It really does. What?
It's really not almost over.
It is though.
Essentially.
October's around the corner. There's 7 games left.
Sent
It's
to
almost
end.
over.
But they play all October.
Not all October.
Well, then just don't watch the
Just-
game.
I can't. I'm on this thing all the time. I can't.
Tommy, do you want a DP vacation?
I get paid.
Do you want to go on vacation
Hey,
with
yes,
Latte
to
Lot, Miguel
watch the
Almiron,
team.
and
How's
Alexi
that?
Moranchuk?
I can't believe like the way the schedule worked out. It was like, okay, October 5th, like you're going at 10:30 at night against LAFC. Nobody knows on Sunday what happens after 10 o'clock. So like we could have got through that one easy. But instead we're playing Miami on my birthday. Thanks, friends. And then after that, we go to October 18th against DC United. Like, but like you can't like I've watched a 1-2 win Falcons team like at the end of the year, but like I was rooting for them to lose for draft picks. I don't care about the stupid super draft. I don't care. Like, but I'm gonna shut up.
Neither do the union.
Right? Yeah, they'll never care about it. Here's one thing I will say. That there's one more driving force of this front office that'll get me to lose my mind this season.
What's that?
If they fire Ronnie Dyla after October 18th, if they fire him on the 19th, which is a Sunday, or the 20th on Monday, or any day after that, before the season starts, I'm getting my one word. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I will lose my fucking mind because you could be already on every dating app looking for a manager. Anywhere. You could be looking out. You can be singing everyone's name to come on, to go on Indeed and apply for this job for months. If they fire him any day after that, do not send me the link to the podcast. Do not let me on. I will lose my shit because you've had so many signs of why this guy is not the guy. I don't hate Ronnie Dyla as a person, okay? There's no one that, like, if there was a person I hated as a person, it was probably the guy that didn't give water to anybody. That maybe is the only thing there. I love water. Cheers. But
cheers.
If they hold on to him all the way until the end of the year just to fire him, get rid of everybody. Get rid of everybody. That's how I feel.
We can still find a coach after that, but that's not to say.
I agree. I agree. Don't.
Well, but it's not. That's not the problem, Sydney. The problem is that if they were gonna fire him, they could have done it a while ago, when there were like early signs, and you had a chance of an early coach bounce or another coach bounce. Because
doesn't exist.
Remember, last season, Pineda left, and Atlanta got 6 wins after that point, and that was enough to get them into the playoffs. Atlanta was in a similar position this season. And you chose the do nothing option because you were committed to the coach, and now you're saying that you're telling him like that. Yeah, it's his first time. He's new here, like whatever. But like this is a results business, so now you're kind of shaky on that. It would be hilarious though if they fire him on Tommy's birthday.
Right.
On October 11th, the week before. Oh, the week before the season ends. Oh man, come do the live watch along
just for decision day.
Just oh man, I would lose my mind. I would lose it. Like right now, if it's any time in October that it happens, I will lose my mind. Absolutely. Because remember, I just want everyone to remember this, just in case this does happen, that Ronnie's gone. Remember how long it took them to just find a search firm to start looking for a new manager, because we were on search firm watch. We weren't on new manager watch. We were looking for a damn company to come in the door and help us get all the resumes and put them in a nice pile for Garth to look at and to review. That's what we waited for months. And then we sat on the thing, and I love the way that Doug questioned this to to Chris was
Henderson.
Chris Henderson was basically like, hey, Rob Valentino didn't get the job because he didn't win MLS Cup. Well, what the hell are you getting from Ronnie? He didn't ask it that way, but like that's basically the way I took it was like, all right, if he didn't get it done, then this guy at least got you into the playoffs and it gave you the biggest upset in MLS history. What is Ronnie giving you? He's giving you nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's not, and there's zero signs of it getting better besides that you clean sheeted shitty Toronto. You're not shitty Vancouver anymore. You're the good Vancouver's the good Canada team. Toronto, we're shitty Atlanta. You're shitty Toronto. Don't worry. We're fair here.
Well, this is the thing. Gray was kind of bringing up something I was going to bring up. Like Alzate just came in on a 5-year contract. Alzate is Ronnie Dyla's guy. And I just, if you fire Ronnie Dyla, you are now stuck in the same freaking loop you have been stuck in since 2019.
Yeah.
Like, we're rapidly coming up on a decade of this stupid, like, revolving door of you got that manager and you got the old one's players, but then, hey, you got his players in and now you fired that manager. It's got to stop at some point. And I don't know the right answer, but I do know that come 2026 at some point, and we had the same conversation last year or the year before about Pineda. Yeah. If he doesn't get it done, if he goes into 2026 and it's even some semblance of what's happened this season, dude, I don't know what other saving grace he could have. I don't. And then you just got to hope that whoever you bring in at that point can truly adapt with the players that are here. I don't know what else to say, because you've got to get out of this revolving door at some point.
Yeah.
How many losses into 2026 before Ronnie gets the axe?
6 games.
10 matches in. If you see any significant priority, he's gone.
How long did Montreal take to fire their manager?
I don't know. I forgot. I'll have to look it up.
5, I think.
I thought it was 45 minutes into the first game of the season, but that's better than what I thought.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how
it was when they got dunked on by Edwin Mosquera.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
He made him lose his job. That was the beginning of the end for him. Poor dude had a 7-game road stretch to start the season. He had no chance. He didn't play a single game at home.
I know.
He was fired.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see. I mean, but the thing is, like, we can just sit here and hope that the plan is, and it does seem that way, that you bring in the guys that he wants, and he truly feels like this is what's going to turn the team around. Hey, dude, if it works, it works. And all of this will go away. But it's a results-based business. Chris Henderson said it. Everybody says it. Like, if you don't win, you are essentially a dead man walking.
I've seen enough results. There have been no results. He is the weakest link.
It was a week after my birthday that they last won.
Oh my gosh! Have another birthday soon.
You were like 35 then.
I know, dude. Literally.
Yeah, how old are you?
36.
Oh fuck! I thought you were older. Shit.
You were wrong.
Here goes the second one.
I'm the old one.
I had been 36 for a week the last time Atlanta United won a game in MLS.
I was giving you a compliment, like making you way younger than you are. Cindy, how old are you?
41.
What's your social security number?
I'm not giving you that.
I got that quick, so I was like, "Oh, just try one more."
Another 4 years, and
all
we'll see. Maybe one of us will hit that age where we just voluntarily give it.
Yeah.
And then that one of us is going to then go retire and never been seen again.
Right. Do we have anything else this episode, guys? We're past the quitting time at this point in time.
There is no quitting time.
Yay for a clean sheet. Yay for Hibbert looking good. that's about it. We move to Nashville.
I'll
I
be
think
there.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for your loss.
I mean, I know we'll talk about it on Wednesday, but I think just another win is not allowing 3 goals, not allowing 2. Like even if you lose this game 1-0, I consider that a win for this team defensively. But like, I'm just looking for individual wins. Team wins, I just don't see happening. So I just need to see. I need to see certain things. But if Brad Guzan plays that game, I'm gonna burn this mother down. I can't see. I hope that back spasm thing is just something that's.
Don't say that.
No. I hope that I hope that they're just using that as a reason to start Hibbert without making Brad saying that Brad's done. You know what I mean? Or that they're, I don't know, trying to make an excuse for why Brad didn't play, by back spasms.
Yeah.
Who mentioned
Someone
back
But in the
the
chat,
chat.
someone
in
keeps
the
saying
chat.
back spasms.
We've not.
Okay,
we've not
because no
we've not
one
corroborated
here
it.
today said anything about back spasms.
We've not corroborated it.
I don't know, man.
I think it was a
Yeah.
joke. Yeah,
Until we hear from the team, let's just proceed as if Greg is healthy.
but I think it was just a decision to play Hibbert, probably spurred on by some of what Chris Henderson said in his media availability this week. But yeah, I think Hibbert starts that game. But I also do think it's like a 7 loss.
God,
Henry.
You know what? Maybe it'll be better if they start Brad for that game so that Jaden's confidence isn't annihilated once Nashville destroys this team. Because this Nashville team is legitimately good and they're at home, and I do not trust it. If Orlando conceded 5 goals. Yes, that was a reserve-ish team, but 5 goals. This Atlanta side's conceding 6 or 7.
I don't think so, but I obviously don't think they'll win, but
maybe that's the emotion speaking, but still.
Nashville's a different team at home. When they're a bad. I mean, with that said, though, I mean their last 4 wins have been 3-0, 1-0, 1-0, and then 5-1.
5-1.
And then other than the other, and then they had a couple road losses in there as well. So they while they can look dominant at times, they can also look, meh.
I think Nashville plays San Diego in MLS Cup.
Huh. Okay.
Holy shit! What'd you just say?
Let's see. That's possible.
I think Nashville plays San Diego in MLS Cup.
Wowzers!
Yep.
And for more of those takes, you can hop on to MLS Monday tomorrow. We'll be talking about tons of cool stuff, including the excellent refereeing.
That's going to be a big talking point. We'll have, who is it again, Tyler? What podcast is going to be joining us tomorrow?
So
MLS Monday.
We're going to have Nathan Durek from Terminal City FC.
Okay.
Vancouver, and Joshua Ray.
Yeah, from the same podcast. Yeah. Terminal City FC. Okay, that's why.
I'm sure they're going to be happy.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be overjoyed.
It's funny, a lot of the Vancouver fans were even on Twitter
yeah.
I mean, not gonna lie, we probably didn't deserve that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Pretty bad.
No doubt. But no, they'll be joining us on MLS Monday. So looking forward to talking to them. Of course, Sun Scored, so we'll be talking about that as well, I'm sure. On MLS Monday. On YouTube.
We'll give you our real predictions for Nashville.
Our legit predictions where emotion is taken out of it.
Henry's is not changing. It's still gonna
be 6-0.
Touchdown.
Right. No, exactly. Are we done? Shall we give our social media handles?
I think we're done.
Whoever wants to go first.
H.A. Higuita.
ATL Pilgrim. Easy enough.
I'm a Hibbert clean sheet.
007.
007. Or Tommy ATL 96, right? That's your burner.
Battered Wrestling 2. Come join us.
Yeah. SH Rights on X, SH Rights at bsky.social on Blue Sky, SidH.soccer on Instagram and Threads. And Scarves and Spikes, Scarves at letter and Spikes on X, scarvesandspikes.com on Blue Sky. Scarves and Spikes on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes, and of course, scarvesandspikes.com.
And with that,
Just hit the dumb music.
Play the music.
Big Daddy said for 26 million, we could. I thought he said we could have had a son, and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, then I realized you're talking about it's on at LAFC, and he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He wasn't coming here.
Why can't we have nice things?
Who would come here at this moment?
Well, you know, the funny thing is that James Rodriguez could have been here in 2020, and I'm never going to forgive this club for not signing him when they have
Fellow Colombian, by the way, for you, Henry. James Rodriguez.
Instead, we got Edwin Mascara.
Same country, different guy.
Bangers.
Little less talented.
Mascara only scored bangers.
A little bit. Only scored a banger and then got injured for 3 months.
If only he had scored that first goal that he got robbed of for it being offside. And
Maybe
Doug-
Edwin Mascara is just the friends we met along the way.
It's the journey, not the destination.
Oh, I can't wait to rant about Chris